Yes Have Some Podcast is brought to you by Carnivorous Creations. Our good friend Mike Nelson has been making these incredible Ghostbusters props for a very long time. We've been talking about it for a long time. In fact, if you've been paying attention, you would know that I just got my brand new Proton Pack delivered to me at DragonCon. There's a video up on YouTube. You can see the pictures on Instagram. It is a one-of-a-kind. I'm telling you, this is the best Proton Pack I've ever owned. It's the best Proton Pack I'm ever going to own. And Mike was super cool. He was very communicative. He talked to me. He asked me questions. I personally had the best experience I've ever had getting a prop built for me because let's face it, these things are special. There's a lot of detail. We're picky, us collectors, us movie fans. We want the good stuff, and Carnivorous Creations delivers. Now, he not only does Ghostbusters Proton Packs and Proton Pack parts, he's getting into Ninja Turtles weapons coming later this year. He's got amazing prop displays, custom displays for your prop replicas. These things are huge. It's hard sometimes. You don't know even how to put it on a shelf. Mike at Carnivorous Creations is going to help you get your collection where you need it to be. So, check out carnivorouscreations.com. That's carnivorous with a K. You can also find them at Carnivorous Creations on Instagram and Facebook. Tell them Yes Have Some Podcast sent you and get yourself into a brand new Ghostbusters Proton Pack.
I don't want to grow up bomb. Do you want some?
Jurassic Park. Now playing the PS7.
Ecto goggles with Ecto Bomber, neutron blaster, and water zapper, each sold separately.
From the corner penthouse of Spook Central all the way to Star Killer Base, this is Yes Have Some Podcast.
You like? Yes, have some. Yes, have some.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags.
The only place in the multiverse where you can love the book, hate the movie, but still buy all the toys.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
What?
Please remember to hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed. With your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 175 of Yes Have Some Podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to another week of podcasting, another week of toys collecting, barging, staying Craig strong, getting into new things like Power Rangers, praying for Ghostbusters trailers, and I don't. Do I pray? I think I feel like I prayed for a Ghostbusters trailer.
I don't think that the Ghostbusters trailer needs our prayers.
No, it might.
I mean, if you're praying that it would come out, yeah, but I don't think it needs like help.
I'm just sending positive vibes to the universe.
Now I send vibes out. I don't pray.
I send positive prayers to.
I think they're about the same thing, Abby.
Do you think?
I think they're probably
I like vibes
both.
better.
Yeah, I mean you can have a preference. I just think they're
Get down
probably
on my knees and I
think
send
they're
out
probably
vibes.
both just as helpful as the other.
Hey, you know what this all sounds like
Thank
to me?
you. I don't know.
That was your cue. You
Religious
screwed-
discussion?
No, you screwed it up. I just threw you a softball.
I wasn't ready for your softball. I still had other thoughts that I was trying to catch up on.
An alley-oop to you.
Okay.
And you did not dunk it. You ran away from
Was
the
that
ball.
sports?
Yeah.
This
was
you
your
have
cue.
to tell me now.
Okay, we're going to try one more time. You know what all that sounds like to me?
A bunch of hoopla and hootenanny. What?
Hey, Jake, do you want to fill her in?
A bunch of crap?
McClunky.
Oh, McClunky. Fuck. Dude, I told you I was going to kick this episode off with McClunky, and you ruined it. I kicked off our actual phone conversation
Wait, you
with Jake.
ruined it.
I didn't. Okay, no, I didn't. I'm going to stand behind the fact that I didn't ruin this. McClunky.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into this right up. We had a lot to cover, but I this is so funny. So Disney Plus launched yesterday.
So is McClunky the same thing as like Malarkey at this point?
We don't know.
We don't know.
I thought it was somebody's formal last name.
James T. McClunky, captain of the USS Enterprise.
It sounds like a Scottish or like an Irish last name.
I don't know if you guys heard Disney Plus launched yesterday. I don't know if you read about that.
I haven't gotten off my couch.
By the way, like I'm obsessed and I love it and I'm glad we have it, but it's a little much, right? Like everyone needs to calm down a little bit.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I
sure.
like it. I like being a part of something that everyone else is posting about. I think it's fun.
Fuck it. Okay, so Disney Plus launched, and I guess a number of people immediately decided that the first thing they were going to watch on Disney Plus was Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah.
For some reason. Although once this all happened, we ended up watching about an hour of it last night.
Yeah, for real. But
Hey,
somebody was like, let's start at the beginning here.
hey, that movie's good.
Yeah, it is.
So everybody knows that for a long time there's been tinkering with the original movies in the Star Wars trilogy. The versions that are on Disney Plus are the special editions. And
Great.
George Lucas, the most controversial change probably of all of them, the one everybody knows about, is the Han shot first scene. Han Solo shooting Greedo in the cantina. Originally, he just pulled the gun and shot him, and it was badass, and it was like a character-defining moment.
He's oozing charisma. It's a great scene.
Ivan Ooze?
No. Don't get me off track here.
And then in like 1997, it was changed where Greedo shot first, and then it was changed again. It was like kind of a simultaneous shooting. But now, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, I don't know when this change happened, but I guess it happened
Plot development.
6 or 7 years ago.
It happened yesterday.
Well, that's when the change happened, but they said this was like let's say what it was first. So when they shoot each other as he's going down, Greedo says McClunky. And it's subtitled, so it's not like, oh, he just says, no, it's McClunky.
Yeah. It's like the best new little piece of Star Wars lore.
And
it's so dumb.
There's already shirts with like the Star Wars font that says McClunky.
Jesus Christ.
So here's the thing. George Lucas sold Lucasfilm and Star Wars to Disney for $4 billion. But before they signed the deal, he had to make one last change to Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah.
And it was
I see him running out of the shower to like find a pad and pen to like jot it down.
No, it's like the beginning of Armageddon when somebody sees observes the asteroid, and there's like all this data going, and it's like bitty beep bitty, and it's like cuts to different people, and the guy's running with the pad and paper, and he just like comes up to the window. It's George Lucas like running through the Skywalker Ranch. He puts on the window and he goes, McClunky. So yeah, Jake, did you watch
Final
it?
piece of the puzzle.
Did you watch it?
I didn't like go to my Disney Plus and put it on, but I saw people posting the clip, so I watched the clip of it. Yeah.
When I first read it, I was like, "Great, they're already spoiling Mandalorian for me."
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I saw Hal posted that meme, and I was like, "Great, cool, Hal, way to be an admin and post a meme that spoils something."
Hal is not an admin.
What did he post? I missed it.
He posted the McClunky. It might have not even been in group therapy. It may have just been on regular.
He posted the McClunky thing. Okay.
Yeah, which of course I immediately thought was from The Mandalorian and was getting mad because I thought it was.
Well, we found out the Mandalorian's true identity, McClunky.
It's McClunky. There you go, folks.
So that was ridiculous, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, we're gonna get into the Mandalorian a little bit.
Yeah, well, we were watching The Mandalorian when you told me that little like factoid about McClunky, and
no, it was Rebels.
Oh, we were watching Rebels. Either way, I interrupted and I was like, "Hey, let's turn this off because I need to go watch that right now."
We need to go get McClunkized. Mm-hmm. Jake, what are your first impressions of Disney Plus?
It's cool, man. I wish. I mean, there's a tons of shit on there, but I wish there was a more. I wish there was like maybe an option to see everything that's on there, because there's not
like the navigation.
Yeah, like in the navigation, like you know, it has like here are the there's like a section for beasts, and it's like all like there's like certain movies that fit into that category, and then there's like the best friends category. It's very much like Netflix.
It's curated,
but there's only like maybe 10 or 20 movies in each of those categories, and then that's it. Like anything else you want to watch, you gotta search for it.
Yeah,
and if you don't know it's on there, then it's just in the void somewhere. It would be cool if there was a selection. It would just be cool if there was a section where it was like view all, or here's just because I'm sure there's tons of shit that's cool to watch that we might not come to our minds.
You know what they should call that section? The Vault.
The Vault.
Yeah, because I agree with you, Jake. Like it will suggest things for you to see.
How is the entire thing not just called The Vault?
Yeah.
Like the Disney Vault
Disney
is what
Vault,
the entire thing should be called.
Colossal oversight.
Besides that dumb little nitpick, it's really cool. Like I've watched a couple things already. I've watched Mandalorian twice.
I watched it again today. Hey, guess what? It's great.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
still
good.
good the second time. Yeah.
I agree with you, and I think that's a piece of feedback a lot of people have expressed. There was an update that downloaded today. I'm sure they're patched. I know there was some maybe like technical difficulties, but I didn't really. We glitched one time maybe, but it was fine.
When I first got on in the morning, it was kind of a little slow going, but as soon as like it kind of caught up. But what's weird is like, they Disney Plus put out that thing that was like, we're experiencing more traffic than we thought. And I'm like, how? I'm like, you're Disney. How did you not just know that, everybody on planet Earth were going to be logging into this thing immediately?
They're just trying to be like Jennifer Aniston. Be like, sorry for all the glitches, guys.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to break the internet.
Didn't know we were so popular.
While we're talking about it, I would never out somebody publicly, but they talked about it on their own podcast. Congratulations to a good friend of ours and friend of the Ghostbusters community. Godfather of the Ghostbusters. What is Troy Benjamin?
Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
He's our uncle.
Yeah.
He's our uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle Troy. Yeah. Congratulations to Uncle Troy Benjamin. He works for Disney Plus and he's working hard on all sorts of stuff over there. Awesome. I was super jealous of his Instagram pictures. They had Disney Plus cupcakes and I wanted one.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, I commented, I asked him, I was like, how does one
store this?
Like he suggested.
Preserve it.
Whose idea was the refrigerated
Mine.
detox?
I was about to say that. First, you said, how do you store or how do you keep a collectible commemorative cupcake? And then he said a detox. And then I said a refrigerated detox, which is a brilliant idea.
It is.
Sharks.
For all of your for all of your rare treats. So congrats to Troy. And yeah, I mean, it's overwhelming because there's a lot of original content. There's just a lot of stuff like
there's a lot of old Disney content, like the old made-for-TV Disney movies that are terrible.
My favorite, there's a guide called Disney Through the Decades where it's like starting in the 1930s and it gives you a selection of stuff from each decade. And I love like as you scroll through, like some of it's Disney originals, some of it's stuff they acquired because like I'm going through the 80s. I'm like, my favorite 80s Disney classic, The Empire Strikes Back. And then, but hey, they own it now.
The 70s had some weird titles of like Disney movies, like $1 Million Duck.
I want to see $1 Million Duck.
Like, I don't know what things were different before, like CG and shit.
Hoping for a sequel to that.
$1 Million, $2 Million Duck.
I like that they got all the old like Marvel superhero cartoons are on there. The old X-Men, the animated series, and the old Spider-Man is on there. And I'm planning on spending the entire weekend watching all of that.
Dude, I started The Simpsons last night, like with the first episode, and I really haven't gone back and watched original Simpsons content. And just the feeling, the prospect of like sitting down and knowing what I'm going to get into, it kind of feels like I'm starting a new job with like a big company. Because it's like I've got so much I know Stephen King's coming at some point. I know that the Halloween episodes are really good. I didn't really know what it was all about, and going back to the original,
you're
the first
like
couple episodes.
Simpsons virgin.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh wow!
So I'm watching
see how
it.
Long,
I like it.
Wonder. I would like to know. I wonder what it will be fun to kind of track your progress and see how you feel towards that show.
How things change and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I like about it is like watching it. For one thing, I remember distinctly growing up, it was very controversial, and it was like a banned type of contraband show. I wasn't allowed to watch it. So watching it now and realizing that it's much like Bob's Burgers, or like it's got like a big heart to it. It's actually like it has like decent family moments in it, even though they're like kind of pieces of shit. Like there will be those moments that you can kind of relate to, and I like that a lot. And that reminds me of
the third episode, and I completely forget about this. Is the episode where like Homer loses his job at the nuclear power plant and decides to kill himself.
Yeah.
So he writes a suicide note.
Do you like how I was talking about the heartfelt family moment?
No, but there's this really funny line where he's walking down the street and he's got the boulder tied to him and he's carrying the boulder. And they're like, oh, is that man going to kill? Like, he's walking by, these two people are sitting outside. They're like, is that man going to kill himself? They're like, maybe he's just walking with his favorite boulder. And they start laughing. It's very dark. I think The Simpsons kind of hits it kind of peaks like season 3, 4, 5. So
yeah,
it took a while. There's some good stuff though. The early episodes are really fun.
I like it. The animation's a little bit different, kind of wonky and off, and I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, it's like a nice time travel thing for me. So.
Yeah.
And it's cool that it's all available there. So
it's all there.
Yeah.
I think The Simpsons, that's like classic early 90s Disney, you know?
Mm-hmm. Love Disney, you know? That the Simpsons part of Disney World is pretty cool.
Oh, that's funny too. Hey, how come all the stuff on Disney Plus is at Universal Studios?
That's what classics.
Anyways.
$1 Million Duck. The ride.
My favorite ride. Hey, we saw those ducks that one time in Orlando.
Yeah, we did.
We did, yeah.
Okay. So
they didn't know where Laura Dern was.
They didn't. So we got some Star Wars stuff. One thing that's really cool, a lot of the movies and stuff have like the special features. Have you noticed that?
Oh, I didn't know
that.
You can like watch the commentary and deleted scenes from like, Avengers Endgame and stuff.
Which is great.
It's great. And also, I can't believe that hasn't been a thing before.
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
Where you can watch. Yeah. I mean, they'd have that for like TV shows where they would show special features, but you'd have to watch along with like TV personalities.
Well, it's getting to a point where people don't buy DVDs anymore, and like all of that stuff will just be completely lost if they don't start putting it on streaming services.
Yeah.
There you have it.
It's really sad, actually.
Okay, so real quick.
DVD preservation.
We are the DVD Preservation Society. Save the Clock Tower. Mm-hmm. Jake, besides Mandalorian twice, did you dig into anything else?
I watched the first episode of the Jeff Goldblum show.
Oh yeah,
same.
The World According to Jeff Goldblum. That was great.
I also watched Remember the Titans.
Obviously,
first time watch.
That was a Gardner.
If there's one thing I know about Jacob Walsh, he likes high school football dramas.
God, that was filmed at my high school.
Really?
Sprayberry. Yeah. Because it was like, it hadn't been updated in so long, so it looked like...
Wait, where's that at? Where was that?
Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, okay,
It's near Town Center Mall.
That's the most interesting thing about that movie.
Yeah. Jake, you know what? Kind of agree with you.
Hey.
It's one of those that like I should have nostalgic ties to because I saw it and I actually like have a piece of it that I grew up with by going to that high school, but I don't care.
Sunshine?
No.
He's from California. They didn't like that.
Friday Night Lights. If I'm gonna watch high school football, I'll watch Friday Night Lights.
But what about the other guy from American History X and Mallrats? He's good in that movie. He played the same character in 20 different things.
I was about to say
he
he's the
did.
same guy. He's the big dumb guy who keeps singing.
Now I'm looking up Remember the Titans on oh my god.
And
we don't have to have a whole
we don't
segment about it.
Hey, Remember the Titans is not a WB DC show or CW.
It's not YHS content either.
Anyways. So I watched I got into some Boy Meets World last night.
Yeah.
Fantastic show. Underrated, very funny. And I had Rookie of the Year on today. Listen, there's a lot. But since we're talking about Disney Plus, we do want to let everybody know that if you want to talk about what you're watching on Disney Plus, and we're about to get into The Mandalorian here, which I'm very excited to talk about, we want you to do it on the official Facebook group.
Yeah.
For Yes Have Some Podcast, which is Yes Have Some Group Therapy, and Abigail Gardner is going to tell you how to get there and what to do once you arrive.
It's so easy. You're already on Facebook all the time. So just search for Yes Have Some Podcast and you'll find our page. Give that page a like. Scroll down and you will see Yes Have Some Group Therapy pop up as an option. Ask to join the group. There's so many of us now. We want to hit 1,000. That's our goal. But it's still a tight little group where we post quality content, no memes. You can talk about Disney Plus, the shows that you're watching, all the memories they're bringing back, and how you're buying the toys on eBay, and how your friends are sniping them underneath you. It'll be great. It's a great place to go and talk about things.
Are you taking jabs at me? Listen, hold on. Can we get something straight here? Let me tell you something, Abby.
I saw her first.
No, you stop it. Listen. I was buying those Congo toys before you even saw the fucking movie.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I was thinking about buying you those Congo toys before you actually bought them because I'm a good person.
Yeah, Abby was like, it felt like a movie. Abby's like, we should get Jake some of those Congo toys for Christmas. And I'm looking at Jake's text messages. I'm like, that's not going to work.
It's just funny to me that Abby's mad that I bought the Congo toys when I'm like,
I know, because I think I have.
You didn't see the movie a week earlier.
Yes,
Hey,
my passion.
you've all had about 25 years to figure out these Congo toys.
Yeah, I know. Why is it now becoming such a heated issue
also,
for me?
they're pretty readily available, Abby. We're gonna get you those Congo
but
toys.
it's not okay. I want those, but I want the Amy, the plush that you have.
Dude, every week
really,
we're going to, Amy,
what you gonna do? I'd be a better mom for you.
What? What is this?
It's a song.
the Allman Brothers.
Oh, is that Allman Brothers?
They just have a song called Amy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not about Congo.
I thought you guys had
rehearsed.
Hey,
put
Jake,
together.
we're really talented, so you don't. Who knows?
Hey, I do want to let everybody know there's another way to get to Facebook group therapy. Go to Facebook and type in "Yes, have some group therapy." It's a one-shot deal. You can get there.
It's easy. I'm jumping in. I'm gonna. Yeah, guys, as I said.
But yeah, come on. We want to know what you're watching on Disney Plus. We want to know what you think about The Mandalorian. We started a thread, and I have a feeling we're gonna. So let's talk. Let's just go ahead and get into this now. This is such a unique position to be in. We've kind of thought about a Star Wars live action TV show for a long time. We've never had it, and now we do. And it's very interesting to sit down and take in a new piece of Star Wars content. Obviously, there's the animated series, which have been out. But as far as live action, directly ties into the movies. It was interesting sitting down, watching a 35, 40-minute show, digesting it, thinking about it, talking about it, theorizing about it, and then realizing, oh, we're getting another episode in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And Jake, like you watched it twice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our initial reactions, because I know my expectations were, I thought it was going to be good, but you never know. Like I thought maybe.
I didn't know I'd be so delighted.
It was delightful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But Jake, I'll throw to you. What are your initial thoughts?
My like kind of my notions going into it. I was thinking like, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. But I had this little bit of I was already kind of annoyed. Like Mandalorians are annoying. And they're annoying because people have made them annoying. Like they're not annoying within the Star Wars universe. Right. But there are people who make them out to be just very like I just don't care about them. Boba Fett is like, I mean, he is the most overrated character, like just period. And I've just never really cared to follow that part of the story or those sort of characters. But right away the show's great. You know, like it is very good. Like it's all well done. It's got some like, you know, right away there's like murder happening and some like shootouts and just like it's all pretty exciting. There's a lot of fun characters and a lot of like characters that you only see for, you know, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the episode and probably won't see again. But they all seem like they put a lot of time into creating those characters, which is always great. Like there's a lot of stuff happening in this one episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
A whole heck of a lot of stuff, a lot of cute stuff. Not to get to the very last spoiler of it, but I know we will. But yeah, the Horatio Sands, who plays the guy who's being hunted, the blue alien character.
Let's talk about. He was great.
He was like right off the bat with him. I was like, oh, this guy's funny, and it's like Star Wars because this is a creature where the special effects are practical and like very believable, and it's funny also.
He played the unidentified Mithril. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did
that character strike you guys as kind of unique for Star Wars? Did it kind of feel more like a Star Trek character? Because I'm not used to it.
It felt like Star Trek to me because in Star Wars we're used to like those kind of aliens, you know, that are humanoid but not human are like 99% just kind of background characters a lot of the time. And to have a main, you know, not a main character, but to have him like speaking and being one of the first characters, doing most of the talking for the first, you know, whatever, 15 minutes of the episode, and being, you know, a bluish green or whatever color he was, like creature, that does feel very Star Trek.
Yeah.
For
100%.
sure.
But I liked it because and also normally when you see creatures like that or characters like that in Star Wars, they're usually speaking with some sort of weird dialect or alien. But it was like kind of I don't know. It just felt like something out of Star Trek, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think
it's not.
I think the thing people are
something about him like trying to use his political or like financial position to like coax something and negotiate. All that stuff felt like Star Trek.
I also liked all the bathroom talk. You know, I like hearing about how that species evacuates.
Me too.
His thorax.
It's important. Yeah, he's molting.
You know what though? Like I think there's going to be a lot of stuff within the context of this show and any long form storytelling within the Star Wars universe where they got to fill the space, right? Like if they wanted to make a hour and 45-minute Mandalorian movie, they could, but this is going to be 8 episodes. So there's going to be interesting conversations like that were, stuff that we normally don't see.
He also references the Christmas special.
Oh, let's talk. There's 2 references to the Christmas special in the episode. What's Life Day, right?
Mm-hmm. Life Day is one.
Do you know the other one, Jake?
I don't.
So later on, when Nick Nolte shows up, by the way, that was a great performance.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everybody watched it, so we're not going to break down every bit of the plot. But he says, because the Mandalorian, we don't know his name yet, obviously. He's having trouble riding whatever that creature was. Somebody can find that out.
Blurg.
He's
a blurg.
And he says, your ancestors used to ride the mythosaur.
Yeah.
Which, if you go back to the Star Wars Holiday Special, the animated part with Boba Fett, there's like this giant alien dinosaur creature.
Well, the mythosaur is also that's also just what that like Mandalorian symbol.
Oh, right.
That's a mythosaur.
Okay.
So like
maybe I'm wrong then.
Always been, no. I mean, it's probably also. I mean, if it shows them riding that, and I've never seen the Christmas special, so if. That could be a reference to both things. Like the mythosaur is, an important creature to the Mandalorian.
The skull
so
of the
it would make sense.
mythosaur. I found this. The skull of the mythosaur became the symbol of the Mandalore. Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go, guy.
Yeah, and then the symbol. I mean, it's on Boba Fett's armor, and you see it throughout Star Wars. And anyways, long story short, Life Day, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I like the idea. There's holidays in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you think the spaceports, I bet it sucks like Christmas Eve at oh God, I'm tired. I'm drawing blanks already. Tatooine.
It's busy? What are we talking about?
Like the main thing in Star Wars. What the fuck is the name of the spaceport?
The main thing in Star Wars.
Mos Eisley. Thank you.
Mos Eisley.
I thought of it all myself. The main thing in Star Wars.
But that depends on which creatures sell. Like, I mean, if you imagine that every alien race has a version of Christmas, they're probably not all on the same day. So if you're thinking about a world like Star Wars where there's countless species of aliens, all of their holidays are going to be on different days. So there's probably a holiday somewhere every single day.
So that's why true. I never go to Mos Eisley.
Yeah, because
don't go.
Well, Life Day is specific to the Wookiees. That's like the holiday special because Chewbacca has to get home to his family. I've watched the first 20 minutes of that.
So
it's
bad.
really hard to watch.
So let's watch it.
That's what I was going to propose.
That's what we're going to do for Christmas this year. Let's watch
I think we should watch 5 minutes of it and review only 5 minutes because I don't think we can watch it all at once, like in little increments. And
we can't call ourselves Star Wars fans if we're not going to sit and give it one legitimate watch through.
I think I liked it. It's like, I mean, it's god awful, but it's fun
I couldn't
and silly.
sit through it. I love it.
I love it.
Okay, so anyways, Mandalorian was great. Brian Posehn was great. I told our fun friend Hal Clay today. You know the part where Mandalorian he's got to cross that icy stretch, and the little creature who has the whistle. And he whistles, and then the speeder comes up with the R2 unit. I loved that entire scene because I want that whistle. I was like, I messaged Hal.
A flute.
I was like a flute. I was like, Hal, I want to buy that flute. And he's like, look what I bought today. And I thought he bought the flute, but he bought a Mandalorian helmet. Anyways, Brian Posehn, great little cameo.
Yeah.
But anyways,
he made a tweet about that. That was fun.
I mean, imagine being a lifelong Star Wars fan and getting the chance to be in it.
Yeah, and as a fan of his and a fan of Star Wars, it's cool to see him in it.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, we won't break down the entire plot, but my highlights were IG-11, which is
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi did the voice. He was great. Very funny, a little comedic relief. Kind of reminded me a little K2SO, like Rogue One style. Obviously based on, or the IG unit is similar to the IG-88 bounty hunter, which we briefly see in...
and he keeps trying to shut down.
Well, he keeps trying to self-destruct.
Self-destruct.
It's very funny.
So funny. Yeah.
But basically, the plot, it's very much a Western plot. The Mandalorian has struck up a deal to hunt down and capture and return this asset, this 50-year-old asset.
50-year-old asset.
Did you guys read about the thing that somebody on Twitter discovered today?
No.
So let's go ahead and talk about the asset real quick.
If we do it, can we do our
The
song?
Indominus.
Yeah, the Indominus. Verizon. It is, because you get free Disney Plus with Verizon.
Oh.
Verizon Wireless presents Baby Yoda.
Damn it, I wanted to do our song.
What's the song? No.
You know the song, Baby Yoda do 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 do, Baby Yoda do 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 do, Baby Yoda do 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 do, Baby Yoda. Nobody else did it with me. What the fuck?
I love
Can we
it.
cut that out? Let's cut that.
No, it's part of pop culture.
Oh boy.
Jake doesn't like that Baby Shark song because he doesn't like the idea of a non-threatening little baby shark.
He wants it to be Violent Shark.
Although you can make an argument that song is literally about Jaws the Revenge. And like how the mommy shark went down to the Bahamas. Okay.
Baby Shark?
You know that.
Yeah.
All right. So we find out the asset is this, everyone's calling it Baby Yoda. It's not Yoda.
Yeah,
it's not, but we don't have a name for Yoda species.
We don't know shit. It's not Yaddle.
It's not Yaddle, but Yaddle might have been involved.
So here's
making
the thing.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So here's the situation. This show takes place approximately 7 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, I believe. So Yoda has passed on by this point. So what is the actor's name? Warner Herzog?
Herzog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's got stormtroopers for some reason?
He's got some. Well, he's some sort of.
But I'm a little confused by all of that.
So okay, so this from what I took away and from what I've been reading and just from my own knowledge of it, this is after the Empire has fallen. Darth Vader is dead. The Emperor is dead, and the rebels have. This is a kind of a time of fractured alliances, right? So I have a feeling that like the Imperials that survived have maybe gone on to start doing their own. Eventually they form the first order is formed at some point. I'm sure we'll learn more. But Werner Herzog has some sort of Imperial ties, right? Like
he's got a giant like Imperial logo medal around his neck.
And he's got some stormtroopers but what I was saying,
he's got a cool accent.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear him? Like I don't know much about him other than he's a legendary filmmaker and actor, and he's never seen a Star Wars movie. And there was a quote. He was like, "Why would I need to?" I love old people. Nick Nolte didn't even know he was acting. That was just live footage of current Nick Nolte.
That was just Nick Nolte without going into the makeup trailer.
Yeah,
that's just what he looked like.
What does he say? I have spoken. Is that what he keeps saying?
I think he says I've spoken.
I have spoken.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dude that was with Werner Herzog, I'm probably saying his name wrong. The guy who is like the little kind of slimy dude with the glasses who is like, we need the asset alive. Lackey. And whatever. He has a logo on his jacket that is the same logo as all the clones have on in Attack of the Clones, on that planet where they like that, the ocean planet where all the cloning's happening.
Right.
Camino is the name of the planet.
Camino, yeah.
So there's some tie there. What does that mean? What does that mean about this Baby Yoda? Does that mean, it means a couple different things. It could mean that maybe they're trying to clone him. Maybe he is a clone. Maybe he's a descendant of a clone. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it's just a cool Easter egg. But it is interesting, and I don't feel like anything.
They wouldn't end the show on that. and have it not. Oh, you're talking about specifically that symbol. Okay,
maybe he's a clone. He's not a clone of Boba Fett.
I think it's indicative of whatever the plot will circulate around that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just something. I don't think that kind of Easter egg is so specific. I don't think it would be there for an accident, right?
Yeah.
Do I think that the little baby is a clone of Yoda? I don't. I don't think that's what it is. But we're gonna know sooner rather than later.
I know that it's the background on my phone now. 'Cause it's adorable and obviously like the cutest. And I also can't wait to get like a plush doll version of it.
Oh,
it's
there's going to be some merchandise.
this Christmas? Oh, yeah.
So Annie's 50 years old.
50.
He's a tiny little 50-year-old
Tiny
Yoda.
little baby.
We won't spend too much more time on this. Jake, when you first saw this little baby, they do the little shot where they show his ears and like my eyebrows raised. I went, whoa.
I was like, it's a Mogwai.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
We have now bridged the universes. Like, what if the entire series, the first season of Mandalorian, is just about how he accidentally gets the Mogwai wet and has to just fight gremlins the whole series?
Maybe Yoda got wet on Dagobah and he started popping out little baby Yodas.
That makes sense. You don't need a yaddle.
I was excited to see it, man. I had kind of like a oh shit moment, you know. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, it's a little baby Yoda. You don't see, like, I mean, this is literally only the third time we've seen, you know, a creature in Yoda's species, and for some weird reason, like, we don't know anything about Yoda's species.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's weird because he's such a main character, and it's like we don't even know what he's called. Isn't that weird?
I think he's adorable, and I agree. He does have a Mogwai feel to him.
I'll be honest. I was more excited though to see the Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, dude.
Features.
I was actually I had to look up the
Abby.
What are they called? They're like monkey,
Kawaki and monkey lizards.
Monkey lizards.
Yeah, they're basically kept as pets. So it might be kind of hard times,
items, I guess.
Yeah, dude, if you're hungry. But yeah,
Abby, you audibly yelped when we saw that.
I got very upset. It made me want to get like on the, I don't know, the Star Wars vegan movement or something. It's very upsetting because they're so cute and it doesn't make sense. I don't want to see them used as food.
It kind of does make sense. They're very hungry in these little. You know, the thing I kept thinking on a more serious note is they didn't really name any of the planets and stuff. Like I was interested in like where in the universe they are and how it ties into some of the older stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, it was one episode. The second episode hits Friday, so tomorrow when you're listening to this.
I like that it's in kind of that lawless, like whatever part of the galaxy it's in, that there's like shootouts and that it's in cantinas and stuff like that. That's the part of Star Wars
it definitely into. So I definitely saw a lot of people saying it felt more like old Star Wars, but I kind of also got annoyed because I kept reading people kind of making the same statement, like, oh, I finally like Star Wars again. It's just like, everybody needs to calm down. Like, it's good, but
I mean, it felt like Rogue One to me.
It did feel like Rogue One a little bit.
It has a Rogue One feel, which is not a bad thing at all. So.
Yeah.
Do you think, so I was looking at the release schedule. There's 8 episodes. The 7th episode comes out the night before Rise of Skywalker.
Shit.
And then the finale will be the following week.
Oh.
I don't think that's an accident. I bet there's some stuff. I bet there's going to, not that it'll be a direct connection, but I bet we're going to learn some stuff that maybe will be necessary knowledge going into Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, absolutely. That feels like it's intentional. I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like a fun ride for that week to watch in that way. That'll be cool.
It's going to be good. We got some fun stuff coming up. Yeah. Anything else on Mandalorian before we move on?
No.
I think we hit it all.
That's it? We didn't. I could talk about it all night.
Yeah. Probably going to watch it again.
It felt good because I have all the figures. I've got 2 Mandalorian figures. I've got an IG-11. I've got Cara Dune, and she hasn't even been on there yet. I have Off-World Jawa. The Jawas on that.
You said that as soon as you saw it. You like hit me on the leg, like Off-World Jawa.
Off-World Jawa's there. They were there for like they never showed their face like half a second.
Yeah.
But I got it.
This show definitely had us like audibly like just shouting things and squealing.
I like Star Wars.
I was like, Yoda!
Just shouting all the things that you recognize.
Yes. Sand.
Space.
Space and sand.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. So definitely let us know what you thought of it, everybody, and we'll I'm sure we'll be touching on it every week for the next little while.
I'm touching it.
I'm gonna be touching
Something.
I thought you were about to hit a timestamp.
Timestamp.
Good.
Edit that out.
I have the rundown here.
What is that?
It's the rundown.
That's good. It says my rundown this week just says Ghostbusters stuff.
It's a very short rundown this week.
I think.
All right,
those are
here's the
best
situation.
ones.
We're gonna talk about Dr. Sleep. I know we need to get into that, but there. I will say this before we get into quote unquote Ghostbusters stuff. None of this is spoilers, but if you're staying 100% dry.
Pure. I think people say pure.
What did I say?
Dry.
That's weird.
Nobody wants to be dry.
If you don't want to know anything, then maybe take a break. But we're not good. There's nothing really spoilery here. There's just some stuff going on this week as we build closer and closer to an official title announcement, a poster, a trailer,
It's rumors and speculation.
It's rumors and speculation. Now, we haven't done trailer watch this week. Should we do it now or should we do it later?
No,
Well,
we should just
yeah.
go ahead and
do it now?
Yeah.
It's expected. We have to update the people.
All right. Well, what we're going to do right now is the Yes Have Some Ghostbusters 2020 trailer watch.
Trailer.
Here we go. All right, there it is. So, do we have a trailer yet?
Jake?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That's a big old nope.
All right.
Cool.
Favorite
guys.
segment.
That was good. I thought that was one of our
trailer.
It was better than last week's trailer segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's more to talk about this week.
So I do want to talk about the two things here. There's three things happened this week. The title of the movie possibly leaked, but possibly didn't. Somebody made a fake ad for Ecto Cooler and everybody lost their minds.
Yeah, they did. Jesus Christ.
And then Dan Aykroyd did an interview and probably said a bunch of stuff he's not supposed to say, but I just don't think Dan Aykroyd cares anymore. So
I don't think he cares. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care or know what he's saying.
What do we want to talk about first? Let's talk about the title leak because it's involved in all
sure.
this. So, this website, some Italian website, said that they confirmed with multiple sources that the title, and like I said, if you don't want to know, stay away. But the title for the new Ghostbusters movie could be Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I will say, just some random website. It'd be a weird thing to just make up, right? Like sometimes you read websites where it's just obviously bullshit fake news, but like this is a pretty like
we haven't heard it.
Where are they
around.
saying this came from?
They said they had inside sources. That's all. So
just a random. Okay.
Right. And like historically, we don't know. Historically, sometimes this stuff turns out to be true, sometimes it doesn't. So, Ghostbusters Afterlife, kind of, if that is the title, I know when we talked about Dan Aykroyd did appear on the Greg Hill Show, which is a radio show. He's been doing his Crystal Head signings, and he was asked about Ghostbusters, and he did specifically say that a big component of the new movie would be dealing with the loss of a family member and trying to connect with them again. Which, first of all, just that I love.
Yeah.
Like I know that this is going to be a more emotionally driven Ghostbusters movie that's probably going to tap into some Spielberg kind of feelings. And I like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I just thought of the "see you on the other side." Like that's gonna. I feel.
Why would you say
I just got
that?
choked up, honestly, thinking about it. I was like,
Why would you even say
I
that?
can't drink my active cooler, even though it doesn't exist. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, not sad. It's fucking awesome. It's so awesome because that's exactly what I want to see. It was like, I don't even have to talk about Answer the Call. It's just what I want to see. And I feel like it's going to be a very emotional movie. Whether or not Afterlife is confirmed or not, I don't dislike it. I know, Jake, that you have a few qualms you've mentioned as we've talked, but it's whatever. If it is the actual title, I'm cool with that. If it turns out that it really isn't, then I hope they have a better one. But Jake, maybe I'll let you illuminate why you don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. But I don't like I don't like secondary titles in general. Like, I just don't think it needs it. They seem to be like a weird, gimmicky, like, I mean, what does a title really say about the movie? Especially the title, like, Afterlife. Like, the movie's already called Ghostbusters. Like, why does it have to be called Afterlife? I just don't. Like, if it is going to be there, it's not something that, like, it's not going to, like, make or break anything for me. It's not like I'm going to be like, well, fuck this movie. It's got a secondary title. I don't care that much. I just don't think I think they're kind of pointless. I don't think they're needed. I would like if it was just called Ghostbusters or just Ghostbusters 3 and whatever. I'm not gonna be like annoyed or mad about it having a title. I just don't think it needs it. I think it's kind of a pointless.
Yeah.
Fad.
I feel like with these kinds of things, there's if they're not going with Ghostbusters 3, then they probably have a reason. Maybe psychologically, when you see it's the third movie, you don't like. I'm sure there's psychological and marketing and story. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons that are going. Everything does feel like it's carefully being executed in a purposeful
and
way.
Released and,
My thing is this: I don't mind the title Afterlife, and especially if it directly ties into story elements, literally of, somebody passing on or family passing on or whatever, or the afterlife of the Ghostbusters, as long as it's not like we talked about Terminator, right? Terminator 2, Judgment Day. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Terminator Dark Fate, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's kind of nuanced, like what makes it good or what makes it not good. I don't mind Afterlife. I think it could be way worse, right? Like if that's the title. I don't want
Dark Kingdom.
Oh my god!
Just like those ominous words that don't really tie back to
Fallen
anything.
Kingdom.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, that's another one.
What'd you say?
I said Dark Kingdom just because it was a
That's
fun
gonna be the
mashup.
She was mixing
them up.
Terminator and Jurassic. Yeah,
doing a little mix.
I just think like to me it feels like those titles are. They don't. To me, none of them ever really add to a movie. It's like trim the fat and get rid of that little title. It's like to me, it feels like we're putting it there just because the audience is expecting any sort of sequel to have it.
Yeah,
and that makes me feel weird because it's like I don't want them to be just doing things because of movie fads or because of some audience members feel like they need some sort of secondary title to know that it's a sequel. That worries me a little bit. I think
that it's, unless it like organically comes out of like the written material in the script so that it's like part of, maybe it's mentioned enough that it like, that just, I trust Jason Reitman is what I'm saying.
I do too. I don't have a reason to not trust it. I have a feeling that from a like Sony needs this to be a hit. They need franchises. They want the IP to go on and be part of the lexicon again, and to have for the Ghostbusters franchise to have another boom period. And I'm sure they are thinking like, okay, if we call it, I guarantee this discussion has happened. If we just call it Ghostbusters 3, there's a certain core part of the fan base and the general movie-going public that will understand there was Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2 in the 80s, and now this is the third one. But from a marketing perspective, a lot of what marketing is education, is what marketing is. how can you quickly educate an audience? How do you quickly tell the average everyday person who liked the first Ghostbusters, kind of doesn't remember Ghostbusters 2, remember there was some one with girls, but might not necessarily know if that would. There's so many people that saw Answer the Call who have no idea it's not tied to the originals and also don't care. Now, how is that possible? That somebody could watch that movie and not realize that Bill Murray wasn't playing Peter Venkman? I don't know. I talk to people all the time. People aren't that smart. People just don't care.
There are people who consume movies in different ways than we do. Yeah,
exactly.
Casually.
There are people who go to the movies every weekend but don't care. Like we're the exception. We're the people who see a movie and go, I want to own the movie.
Yeah, we wear a specific T-shirt that ties into the movie.
I want the stuff. I want the toys. I want to know everything about it. And like, we are definitely the exception. So for Sony, how do you quickly educate and market the movie? It's a three-pronged approach. It's through the trailer, it's through the title, it's through the poster. There could be negative connotations being the third movie from two perspectives. One, just once you
revisionist history, people
once you watch a movie series, usually has diminishing returns. So, it's the third Friday the 13th.
Okay.
It's the third Halloween. It's like, how many of these are they going to do? There's that psychological thing. And then there's also, they don't want people to think that this is the third Ghostbusters movie and a sequel to Answer the Call. I'm not saying any of those are the answer. I just have a feeling those are the kinds of discussions that are happening. Having said all of that, and I'll get off my little rant or soapbox or whatever I'm doing here. I don't want it to be called Ghostbusters 2020. And I don't want it to be called Ghostbusters Alive Again, which was the Ghostbusters 3 subtitle from 8 or 9 years ago, which I thought was not great at all. So that's my little speech. Okay. Afterlife, Ecto Cooler. This fake ad hit Twitter on a fake Ecto Cooler account, advertising 3 brand new flavors of Ecto Cooler, or 3 new cans, 2 of them new flavors. It says Ghostbusters Afterlife. Very well done, very professional. By all accounts, it's not real, right? It's not real.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's too early, yeah.
It's too early, and even if it's quote unquote real, the only thing I could think of is maybe it was some designer's marketing mock-up. Because here's the thing. If Ecto Cooler is coming back, they're working on it now. They're working I'm actually fairly familiar with it for my day job. Like when it comes to marketing and advertising, this stuff is planned years in advance. So if they're going to be bringing back Ecto Cooler and doing a big promotion, they are working on that stuff now. So could this be...
could have been somebody's pitch or something like that?
It could have been, but all signs point to it just being a fan-created thing. Having said that, I really wish it was real.
Yeah, my reaction was anger, which I think, Jake, you might have felt too, because it's like, you want it to be real and you see it and you know there's no possible way that it is. But it's very, very cool and very perfect. So yeah, I felt annoyed that it's not going to happen. How about you, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to have it. There's no part of me that ever thought it was real. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I mean, that's just not the way they release things. It came from a fake account. Like it looks too perfect to be real. We know they don't put Slimer on the can. I was just like, this is not the real thing. Like there was no part of me that ever was like, oh, maybe it's real. It's not. It would be great though if it was, because I do want Ecto Cooler, and the biggest annoyance about the last release of Ecto Cooler was that there was no Slimer on the can. So yeah, that'd be cool. And I'm into doing other flavors. I'm fine with that.
For those of you who haven't seen it, the other flavors were Big Apple and Gooberry.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not to say like just because this is fake doesn't mean that like they're not going to re-release Ecto Cooler. Like maybe they might just put out the exact same, boxes and cans that were out for the last film. Mm-hmm. It might just be the same stuff. Who knows? Like maybe they will still work on it, but
I have a feeling that lots of lessons were learned across the board last time, and I would not be so. Even though there was that whole thing about Coca-Cola saying they don't put cartoon characters on drinks aimed towards children, like the fucking Avengers are on Coke cans. Like,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see them maybe backtrack on that. And let's face it, if Ecto Cooler comes out, it's not aimed towards kids. It's aimed towards us.
Right.
It's 35-year-old. I don't even know if kids drink juice.
Yeah. It's a treat.
It's for us.
Much like Canada Dry and Dr. Pepper, it's a treat.
I love those brands.
I love them.
And Keurig.
Yeah, and Green Mountain Coffee Company. Just love them all. Walmart, love them.
But no, it even like, I hate to say this, we've talked a lot about how bad like some of the marketing mock-ups you see and posters you see from Disney and stuff. Like, my first clue that it wasn't real was that it looked so good. It looked too good. It looked really professional and well done. Mm-hmm. Even the way that the lettering was done for Ghostbusters Afterlife, it looks very professional.
Again, it's why I'm angry.
I'm angry too, but 2020 is around the corner, and we're going to be getting a lot of tie-ins, a lot of promotions,
a lot of answers
to all of the. I guess I'm just antsy. I'm just like, we're. It's so weird because we just went through this a couple of years ago with Answer the Call, and it was just like this building anticipation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just temper it, but it's like, I feel like, I don't know, it's hard to channel like all that energy and like knowing that this movie's coming out, and then you listen to like the Dan Aykroyd interview, and I know we all heard that he mentioned Bill Murray. Well, here comes a spoiler. Everybody knows this. Yeah. He said Bill Murray, Andy Potts, and Sigourney Weaver they already all filmed their stuff. We all knew that, but just to hear it, like, I saw some people still being like, oh, Dan's just making shit up again. Like, there's one thing, saying we're going to try to do a new Ghostbusters movie next year is not the same as Bill Murray already shot his part for the movie. It's different.
I want this movie to come out and to not have Bill Murray in it at all, and for Dan Aykroyd to be like, Billy did great in that movie. As if he's
boy. Oh, I thought the spirit at the end, the bow tie was, that was pretty good spirit. You produced the movie. His name's Rowan.
God damn it. I know.
By the way, your Bill Murray, or your Dan Aykroyd there, like, really turned into Richard Dreyfuss very early on. I like you kind of was like a mixture of the two of them.
I just want to only do Richard Dreyfuss impressions.
I'm okay.
Richard Dreyfuss's thoughts on Bill Murray filming the new Ghostbusters. Well, that's fine. I'm not mad about it. I don't know. Whatever. Yes, they're all going to be in the movie.
They're all going to be in it.
I'm excited.
There might be a baby Slimer.
You know what I was actually nervous about was
I'm just starting that.
Dan Aykroyd saying that there would be a tribute to Harold Ramis in the next movie. He said, however small. I thought that was interesting because I think we've all made this thing up in our head that this entire movie is about like the legacy of this.
I think that's a red herring. I think I feel like he's trying to misdirect with that.
Who knows? Does that seem like something that's in Dan Aykroyd's wheelhouse to misdirect? Yeah, I don't know. I think Dan's telling the truth. Hey, also update. We're having some major technical difficulties. So Jake is now joining us through a cell phone connection. Jake, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sure this sounds much better.
Oh,
Jake is in a phone booth.
Jake, tell us what it's like in the 1980s.
There's a lot of steam. People dress pretty fancy. I like it. I think I'm going to make it a thing,
All right. I think we got Jake back in the regular world here. He took a brief stopover into another place where his voice was crackly, but he's back. Hey, the joy.
This is weird.
What's weird?
I don't know. Just like going back and forth. Like, I imagine listening to this episode is probably weird, having it go from me to a phone to like, are we even going to keep that little 10-second spot of me on the phone?
It's staying, man.
Yeah.
It's
all. Are we recording?
We are.
Are we back?
We're back.
Jake's back. Good.
It's
well,
fine.
we're trying.
We're trying.
Right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stop talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Thank God there's no trailer to review right now. I'd be having a panic attack.
God damn.
Let's talk about Dr. Sleep. Well, unfortunately, folks, the technical difficulties are really a pain in the ass tonight, and they are interrupting our episode of Yes Have Some Podcast number 175 here. So what's going to happen is we are going to get to our Dr. Sleep reactions and reviews at some point later, maybe tonight or tomorrow. You'll all hear it eventually. Right now, it's just me and Abby.
Yeah, what's up?
No Jay. What's up?
What's up, guys? It's super casual now that Jake's not here.
Yeah, it sucks. We've been kicked off Skype.
Yeah, it feels like Rose the Hat is somehow playing with our connection.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you saw the movie.
All right.
So
sorry about that, but we got about an hour into the show, so it's a almost full episode, but we will get that Dr. Sleep review to you. Sorry for the...
In the meantime, go see Dr. Sleep if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that'll give you more time.
Go see it tonight.
Abby, any final thoughts before we end this one?
No, I'm just like bummed because I had thoughts on Dr. Sleep that I wanted to share. And I miss Jake too, and I hope he's okay on the other side because we were talking about being on the other side right before we lost him. So it's kind of ominous.
Oh, so you think he might actually be on the other side?
No, I think he's just really angry at Skype right now.
He's really mad. Oh. He just threw his Skype out the window.
Let's get him a coin.
Okay. Our cat just sneezed. On that note, thank you everybody for joining us. We will pick this up very soon. And
it'll be like a sequel, like Dr. Sleep.
A sequel. There's gonna be a sequel to 175.
Yeah, YHS squeakquel.
175.
175.5.
There you go. All right, bye everybody.
Cool. Bye.